So I'm taking off the last of a set of cabinet door bays. I'm not going to be painting on the inside of these. I'm going to be painting the rest of these cabinets on site. I use 3 different kinds of tape for this, and I'll show you how I use them. So I use a 2-inch blue, 1.5-inch frog tape, and 1-inch 20/20, and then 1.5-inch blue tape with a 72-inch plastic. So the way I start off is to go across the bottom with some frog tape. The reason I use frog tape right there and only there is because you're going to see this line. I'm actually going to be spray painting to this line. So there's the face frame is 3/4 of an inch, so there's just a natural seam right there, and that's what I'm taping to. And then I get that good and sealed up the sides. I come in with my 2-inch blue tape and I come across the top. I let this run a little bit long. I'd rather have it long than short. And it lets me seal really good to the sides and gives me a little bit more tension. I push it all the way and then seal it down the sides of the cabinet bay. Get that in there really good. Do the same thing down the sides. And here in a minute, I'll explain why I'm doing this. This little detail right here in getting your plastic to seal off down the sides is easy, but when you come down to the bottoms, it's a little bit tricky. So that's really what I'm making this video for. I let a little bit of the tape hang down so I can seal it to the floor of the cabinet, to that green tape right there. So I get a really good seal, and it's back about 1/8 of an inch on the green tape. And the same thing over here. I let a little bit overlap, just 1 inch or so, onto the green tape. At least 1 inch, I guess I should say. And I make sure that when it creases, it doesn't creep up onto this face frame, the top of the face frame. All right, so now I'm using 72-inch for this. You could use 48, but I keep 72-inch stocked, and that's the only size I really use. I let this go a little bit long, and I start it right in the corner over here, get it sealed in, and then over here I just fold it a little bit so it goes right into the corner there. Peel the plastic down. There we go. And I get this to where it's unfolded and is hanging down. And then I seal down the sides, make sure it doesn't lap onto the cabinet at all. And while I still have access to it, I seal what I can and really get that pressed in good. And then I get the rest of this, and I'm stuck to the tape on this piece here. Get the rest of this tucked up underneath, and then seal off the rest. All right, so you can see that I have an issue. This is hanging on, I've got to get it sealed down. And I'll explain how I do that and bring the video in a little closer. All right, so the way I deal with this, because it's got to wrap around the blue tape. So I create a little bit of extra and slide it back. So it's, you know, 3/4 of an inch or so onto the green tape. Make sure there's plenty here and that it's stuck down almost to the very bottom. All right, so now I've got a line that I can seal to on this green tape. That's why I use this 1-inch tape, because I don't have a big space there. Just come in the middle and get it where I want it. Make sure that this 20/20 tape does not creep out past onto the face frame. I get a little piece, and this is where it's a little detail work. I make sure it comes down onto the blue tape and then seals to the green tape right there in that corner. Okay, so that, I get that in there. So that's a tight enough seal to make sure no paint is going to get past there. Do the same thing on the other side. I know there's a lot of ways to do this, and I've watched a lot of videos of other painters' way that they do it. But none of them really showed that little detail right in the corner, so I just had to work it out. So that's the way that works for me.